Do we really know the whole story of creation? What if I told you that the Bible hides a mystery that few talk about? A mystery that challenges the traditional view of creation and could change our understanding of humanity's origins. Before Adam was formed from the dust of the earth, the Bible mentions the existence of other beings, the so-called sons of God. But who were they? And more importantly, why is this topic rarely discussed? Today we are going to dive deep into this profound mystery, exploring not only biblical texts, but also ancient traditions and theories that challenge what we've been taught. Before we go any further, reflect with me. If these beings already existed before the creation of man, was Adam truly the first? Or was there something before him? Something that was forgotten or deliberately hidden? The sons of God, witnesses of the beginning of everything. Imagine being at the dawn of time, before the first human breath, before Eden, before even light was separated from darkness. In that primordial moment, the sons of God were already there, witnessing the grandeur of creation. But why were they there? And what was their true role in the divine plan? Here's an intriguing detail that few have noticed. In the book of Job, God asked Job a fascinating question. Where were you when I laid the foundation of the earth? Tell me if you have understanding. Who determined its measurements? Surely you know. Or who stretched the line upon it? On what were its bases sunk? Or who laid its cornerstone when the morning stars sang together and all the sons of God shouted for joy? Job 38, 4-7. Did you catch that? The sons of God already existed before the foundation of the world. They were there, rejoicing as the universe was created. But how is that possible if Adam was the first man? If the Bible tells us that creation began in Genesis, then who were these beings that existed before mankind? And even more unsettling, why do we almost never hear about them? If the Bible mentions them, why do many modern interpretations ignore them or dismiss them as insignificant details? Could there be something we are not supposed to know? Before we move on to the answers, consider this. If there were other beings before Adam, was creation really just about us? Or are we part of something much bigger, something we are only beginning to understand? If this mystery has already sparked your curiosity, get ready. What we are about to explore could forever change the way you see the creation of the world. The sons of God in the Bible, a hidden knowledge? If we want to understand who these enigmatic sons of God really were, we must return to the original source, the Bible. But does it actually give us concrete clues about these beings? Or are we dealing with something veiled? A hidden knowledge that can only be understood by connecting scattered fragments of Scripture? The truth is that although many have read the Bible, few have noticed that these mysterious sons of God appear in multiple passages and play a fundamental role in sacred history. One of the most important texts is in Job 38, 4-7. Where were you when I laid the foundation of the earth? Tell me if you have understanding. Who determined its measurements? Surely you know. Or who stretched the line upon it? On what were its bases sunk? Or who laid its cornerstone when the morning stars sang together and all the sons of God shouted for joy? God is recalling a specific moment, the foundation of the world. But here's the unsettling detail. The sons of God were already there. This means they existed before the creation of the earth. But who were they? The traditional interpretation says that the sons of God were angels. And this could make sense, as angels are often described as spiritual beings dwelling in the divine presence. But is this the only possible explanation? If they were just angels, why does the Bible specifically call them sons of God instead of simply angels? Could there be a distinct celestial group, different from the traditional angels? The three most intriguing theories about the sons of God to answer these questions. We must explore the main interpretations that have emerged over time. Throughout history, scholars, theologians, and mystics have tried to decipher who the sons of God really were. And three main theories have emerged. 1. The sons of God were angels. This is the most widely accepted interpretation. According to this view, the sons of God were angels who existed before the creation of mankind. This theory is based on Job 38:7, which says that the sons of God rejoiced at the creation of the world. But here arises a new mystery. If they were angels, were all of them faithful to God? Or did some of these beings stray, becoming fallen angels? The Book of Enoch, an ancient Jewish text not included in most Bibles, speaks of angels called watchers who descended to earth, mingled with humans, and gave rise to a hybrid lineage. Could these be the same sons of God mentioned in Genesis 6? If this theory is correct, then the sons of God were powerful spiritual beings who existed before humanity and played a direct role in cosmic creation and order. But this is not the only explanation. 2. The sons of God were pre-existent souls. Another intriguing theory suggests that the sons of God were not angels, but souls that existed before the creation of the physical world. This idea appears in some Jewish traditions and early Christianity. The prophet Jeremiah seems to hint at this in Jeremiah 1:5. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, and before you were born, I sanctified you. If God already knew Jeremiah before he was born, does this mean his soul existed before his physical body? If this were true, then Adam was not the first created being, but the first human to receive a physical body, while the sons of God existed in another form before him. But there is a third theory, one even more shocking. 3. The gap theory. Was there a creation before Adam? Some believe that Genesis 1:2 hides a secret message. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep. Some scholars argue that the Hebrew word for was can also be translated as became, suggesting that the earth may have existed before, but something destroyed it. If this is true, then the sons of God could have been part of a creation that existed before humanity, a celestial or even physical civilization that was destroyed before Adam's birth. But if this is true, what happened to these beings? What comes next could completely change your perspective on the history of creation. Keep watching, because the mystery is only beginning. Aquí tienes la continuación de la traducción al inglés. What happened to the sons of God after the creation of man? So far, we have explored the major mysteries surrounding the sons of God. We know they existed before the creation of man. We know they witnessed the foundation of the world. And we have analyzed 3 theories about their identity. But now a far more unsettling question arises. If the sons of God already existed, what happened to them after the creation of Adam? Were they set aside? Did they integrate into the divine plan? Or did some rebel against God? This is where we begin to enter one of the darkest mysteries in biblical history. To find answers, we must examine the texts that speak about the fall of certain celestial beings, the relationship between the sons of God and humans, and their possible influence in the world to this very day. The rebellion of the sons of God, a challenge to the divine plan? One of the most intriguing events in the Bible is the rebellion of Lucifer and the fallen angels. In Isaiah 14:12-15, the fall of a celestial being who sought to rise above God is described. How you have fallen from heaven, O morning star, son of the dawn. You have been cast down to the earth, you who once laid low the nations. And in Ezekiel 28:14-17, a cherub is mentioned who was expelled from Eden due to his arrogance. You were the anointed guardian cherub. I placed you. You were on the holy mountain of God. In the midst of the stones of fire you walked. Your heart was proud because of your beauty. You corrupted your wisdom for the sake of your splendor. I cast you to the ground. But here's something very important that few consider. What if Lucifer's rebellion was not just his own, but also involved the sons of God? If these beings had an active role in creation before humanity, it is possible that not all of them peacefully accepted the arrival of man. This is where we encounter the most controversial passage about the sons of God in the entire Bible. The sons of God in Genesis 6, a forbidden pact with humans? One of the most perplexing verses in the entire Bible is Genesis 6:2. The sons of God saw that the daughters of men were beautiful, and they took wives for themselves, whomever they chose. This verse raises a series of disturbing questions. Who were these sons of God who took human wives? How were they able to do this if they were spiritual beings? Is it possible that they descended to earth and took on a physical form? The most common interpretation suggests that the sons of God were fallen angels who disobeyed God and united with human women. This idea is reinforced by the Book of Enoch, an apocryphal text that describes how a group of angels, known as the Watchers, descended to earth and fathered a hybrid race called the Nephilim. And when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born to them, the angels, the sons of heaven, saw them and desired them. And they said to one another, "Let us take wives from among the daughters of men and beget children." Book of Enoch 1 Enoch 6:1-2. If this is true, then not all of the sons of God remained faithful to their original purpose. Some broke divine laws, descended to earth, and intermingled with humans. But what happened next? The disappearance of the sons of God and the great flood. According to the Bible, this forbidden union between the sons of God and human women had disastrous consequences. In Genesis 6:4, we are told, "The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God came to the daughters of men and had children by them. They were the heroes of old, men of renown." These hybrid beings, known as the Nephilim, were seen as an aberration in the divine order. God saw how humanity had become corrupted and made the decision to cleanse the earth with the great flood. Here arises a fascinating theory. What if the true purpose of the flood was not just to punish human wickedness, but to eliminate the Nephilim and erase all evidence of the rebellion of the sons of God? Some believe that the rebellious sons of God who participated in this event were punished and imprisoned. In fact, 2 Peter 2:4 states that certain angels were cast into the abyss. For if God did not spare the angels when they sinned, but cast them into Tartarus and committed them to chains of gloomy darkness to be kept until the judgment. And Jude 1:6 reinforces this idea. And the angels who did not keep their own domain, but abandoned their proper dwelling, he has kept in eternal chains under darkness for the judgment of the great day. If these passages refer to the sons of God who disobeyed, then their punishment was to be trapped in darkness until the end of time. But this leads us to one final question. Do the sons of God still influence the world today? If the sons of God existed before mankind, and if some rebelled against God, does this mean that their influence can still be felt today? This is where things get even more intriguing. The Bible mentions that spiritual forces are still at work, influencing world events. In Daniel 10:13, a spiritual entity called the Prince of Persia is described as opposing an angel sent by God. This passage suggests that there are still celestial beings operating in the world, influencing nations and historical events. In Daniel 10:13, a spiritual entity called the Prince of Persia is described as opposing an angel sent by God. This passage suggests that there are still celestial beings operating in the world, influencing nations and historical events. If some of the sons of God fell from grace, could it be that they are still working behind the scenes, manipulating human history? Conclusion: a mystery still unresolved. We have explored a deep enigma. We have seen that the sons of God existed before Adam, witnessed the creation of the world, might have been angels, pre-existent souls, or part of a prior creation. Some may have rebelled against God and mingled with humans. Their traces disappeared after the flood, but their influence may still be present. Now the final question is, are we ready to accept that the story of creation is far more complex than what we've been taught? If humanity was created to replace the sons of God in governing the world, then are we truly fulfilling that purpose? Or perhaps, are we still caught in a struggle that began before we were even born? What do you think about all this? Leave your comment and share your opinion. If this topic sparked your curiosity, don't forget to subscribe for more content about the hidden mysteries of the Bible. And remember, the truth has always been there, but only those who seek will see it.